And welcome back to Humboldt State Tonight. Pleasure now for the first time in 2009, and actually our first guest of 2009 and his first time on Humboldt State Tonight. That is C.J. Johnson, the new men's and women's soccer coach. Coach, thank you for stopping by.
Oh, it's great to be here.
All right, out of coaching, what, 5 years?
That's correct.
And your history, Azusa Pacific, who some people, of course, on the North Coast are familiar with from football, playing them here in the Redwood Bowl and down there, and then San Bernardino, who, of course, people are very familiar with.
Yes, same conference.
So have you caught any flack? I mean, San Bernardino, that's kind of a heated rival when it comes to Humboldt State and San Bernardino. So anybody giving you any flack for your roots?
No, not yet. Not yet. Actually, a lot of my players are kind of excited for me just about being back in the game. So no flack yet on it. We'll see.
Let's talk about getting back in the game. I had a chance to sit down and have lunch with you when you were kind of kicking around the idea of getting back into coaching, and we sat and we talked and just looked at different options, and you were down outside of Las Vegas as a working man. In the end, what made you decide to A, get back into coaching, and B, do it here at Humboldt State?
Well, just being away from college players for one I've always missed that.
Right.
This level is a lot of fun to work with, and it's exciting to work with that level. And it was just, I think the timing was right for me. Just, I did a couple of years, 5 years in the private sector, and decided, you know what, this is really not for me. I want to get back and coach at this level. And unfortunately, I've never been up here to Humboldt. So
Okay.
When I came up and just saw how beautiful it was, the campus, just there's so many new parts of this campus, and loved the area. I think I was really ready to get out of the smog, the heat, and everything else. So that's just being up here and seeing all that. It was a great 3-day trip for me, and I basically said yes before I left.
Well, there you go. And this weather, you're not getting this in Nevada.
No. Honestly, I'm not used to wearing warm-ups and jackets during double days. So I'm pretty sure my players made fun of me a lot for that. But no, it's been fantastic.
Wait till next year. It's going to be 65 degrees, and you're going to be sweating and begging the trainer for water. There's that 1 year adjustment period before you get into it. But what did you miss most about coaching when you found yourself out there, in the private sector, doing the 9-to-5 thing like so many people do, so many of our viewers out there? What did you miss most about being out on the soccer field?
I'd have to say it's more about the interaction with college players on and off the field. Just being a part of that age group is what I miss most. It's not, for me, it wasn't always about the wins and losses. Yeah, of course I love games, I love training sessions, but just that interaction with the college kids that's what I missed most.
How would you describe C.J. Johnson as a coach?
Definitely have a passion for the game. And for me, it's really about working on that 1v1 level with kids, and just trying to make them reach their potential as a soccer player, and more than that, to just do the everyday aspect of school and life in general. So, to me, as a player, I remember in college, it was always, I think I learned more about, off the field and out of the classroom sometimes, or as much as I did in the classroom. So being a part of that whole experience for college kids is definitely what I love.
Now, of course, this happened late in the year. Coach Cumbo left, and Andy went down to Cal State East Bay, and he'll be missed here on Humboldt State Tonight. You come in, and a lot like our football coach, Rob Smith, who inherits a lot of players, doesn't really have a chance to go out and recruit. What's it been like getting to know the players you inherited?
Well, for one, I really didn't know what to expect. I've obviously seen the records over the last couple of years. So I kind of came in with the idea of, okay, let's just, not expect the worst.
Right.
But, I've looked at the records and things like that. So I just decided I'm not going to change the way I am as a coach or train my double days and my training sessions. And to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised. And I think the 2 weeks have gone very well. I believe we're playing a little bit of different style than in the past. And I think, lucky for me, the staff I inherited and the fact that Andy brought in some great players, that change and transition has gone a lot smoother than I had thought.
So do you find yourself playing still some of the older style, you adjusting to the players, or are the players adjusting to you, or are you guys meeting somewhere in the middle?
I think it's been more of adjusting towards me, so
Okay.
I'm pretty much lucked out on that.
What's it been like the players? I mean, obviously they came up to go to Humboldt State, which coaches always say pick the school, but I'm sure they were recruited by Andy. What's their reception towards you been like?
Great. I've definitely felt very welcomed. I think for them, I'm sure there was a lot of being very nervous about that change. But I do know that they had a very good spring season, and that family aspect, which I preach a lot about, very tight groups, both the men and the women. So I think their attitude was, doesn't matter who's the coach, doesn't matter who comes in, it's more about, let's stay as a family, let's work hard, we've done it all spring, we can do this. And luckily for me, that's the attitude they kept. So they just have been rolling right through it. So it's been a great welcome, and they've taken to my style, here in the first 3 weeks. I think they've taken to it pretty well.
And for you were familiar with coaching both boys and girls, men and women in this case, so that wasn't too big of an adjustment.
No, it wasn't an adjustment at all. So.
All right, talk about, hey, couple of wins. What a great way to introduce yourself to the community. Go out, men and women, get a win. That's got to make you feel good first time out of the box 5 years later.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm glad to get the first weekend out of the way. Again, not sure what to expect. It's one thing to be playing for 2.5, 3 weeks of training, but to see game day, that was still an unknown for me. So I was very, very happy with what I saw out there. And, sure, as a coach, I know the areas now we need to improve on. I know what our strengths are. And hopefully we'll keep that momentum going as we head into a big time weekend.
Yeah, already starting to sound like Tom Wood. Yeah, we won, but there's all this stuff I want to improve. He's learning on the fly. This weekend you go up to Washington. Of course, you've never been to Humboldt because Humboldt used to play in the GNAC. That's where you're going. Very tough road trip. What do you have in store for you this weekend?
Oh, it's going to be tough, especially on the women's side. We're playing number 1 in the country, number 12 in the country, right off the bat, and I'm going to learn a lot about the character of this team. I think for me, though, the biggest thing is we get through, these games. It's still preparing, still teaching, still getting ready for our conference. That's the bigger picture. That's what's most important. So it's just these final tune-up games that we're trying to hit hard.
What about playing on the Redwood Bowl? How's that adjustment going for you?
A little narrow. I'm not quite used to that, but it's been great. I'm enjoying it.
That's what we like to hear. C.J. Johnson, first of many. Thank you so much for stopping by. He's the new soccer coach. Sue Woodstra, the volleyball coach. No Olympus this year. We'll find out how her offseason went on Humboldt State Tonight.
Ask kids, and they'll usually tell you exactly what they're going to be when they grow up, like a deep-sea fisherman. At Coast Central Credit Union, we know that even fishermen need a helping hand from time to time. It's nice to know that as your local member-owned credit union, our lending decisions aren't based on the profit we make, but on what's best for you and your family. Coast Central Credit Union works for you. Where do you belong?
Love casinos but don't like the smoke? Come to Bear River Pump and Play for slots and blackjack action. Ages 18 and older are welcome. Here's a sweet deal, dollar blackjack tables at Bear River Pump and Play from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. And ask about the Summer Sunday promotion with prizes including a Nintendo Wii bundle, PlayStation 3 bundle, and a big screen TV. Fuel and fun for everyone at Bear River Pump and Play.
Dustin, what are you doing on the field?
Lumberjack for life.
But you don't play for the Lumberjacks anymore.
Look, HSU football gave me and my teammates a great college experience and prepared us for life off the field. By going to hsujacks.com, click on Donate, then click on JFan, I Can Give, so you and our future teammates can better experience life as a Jack. And it's so easy, even a football player could do it.
Join the tradition of Jacks football. Become a teammate at hsujacks.com.